We're off to the Western Cape next. President Cyril Ramaphosa is this morning expected to lead a presidential Imbizo in the Cape Winelands District Municipality in the Western Cape. The event will see the president connect with citizens, community-based organizations and businesses at the Dal Josaphat Athletics Stadium. Our reporter Natasha Phiri is on top of that story and she now joins us from the Cape Winelands District. Natasha, good morning and thank you so much for making time for us. Already seeing that the DA is accusing the president of actually using the Western Cape and this Imbizo to electioneer, and also considering, of course, that this is the only province in the country that is not being governed by the ANC. Good morning.
Definitely, Aldrin, and I think that's why this Imbizo is very, interesting because this is where the Imbizo really will be put to the test. We'll get to see the synergy between, national government, which is ANC-led, provincial government, which is DA-led, and of course local government, which is also DA-led. But of course, like you've cited there, the DA lashing out the ANC this morning also hitting back, saying that it rejects attempts by the DA to politicize this presidential Imbizo. But to talk to us more on this issue, Aldrin, I'm joined by, the first citizen of the Cape Winelands District Municipality. And of course, this is none other than the Mayor, Dr. Elna von Schlicht. I hope I pronounced it right. Yes. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. I mean, first and foremost, my colleague in studio was just asking, we saw yesterday the DA releasing a statement saying that the president must withdraw from the Racist Equity Amendment Act, the ANC hitting back, rejecting the attempts by the DA to politicize this Imbizo. Will we ever see, and this is the same question that I posed to the Minister of Culture earlier on, a point where, the ANC and the DA put aside their political differences and come together, to work together for the greater good of the people here in the Western Cape?
So let me first say good morning, Natasha, and welcome to the Cape Winelands. Natasha, today is a government issue. The Imbizo is an oversight role that the president has to fulfill legally. So today is not the time to play politics. And of course, the DA is more than enough to put differences aside. It's all about the people's needs today.
Mayor, I read an interesting article. You raised issues around the ECD centres here, and it's quite a concerning issue that, the district has the most unregistered ECD centres in the country. The president is here today. Of course, you will be briefing the president. Will this issue come up tops when you have that engagement with the president?
Natasha, thank you. I've already briefed the president on Wednesday evening, specifically also on this topic. I have to say the ECD centres, the Early Childhood Development Centres, that is a function and responsibility of the Department of Basic Education. It's not a local municipality or a district municipality's function. However, we work on the ground as a district, and we see and we observe and we experience the situation that many, and as you've rightly said, the majority of the ECD centres in a district not registered, that is in the Cape Winelands area. So what we do is two things. We as a district, we finance the ECD centres minutely with little money, but just to assist them to be able to move forward. The challenge is that different municipalities have different sets of criteria for them to register. So they have challenges in that regard. And secondly, what we then do is we bring all our sectors around one table, all the sectors working in this area. And we have what we call in the Western Cape the joint district and metro approach. It's our answer to the DDM, the district development model. The joint district metro approach is an approach. It allows for bottoms up from the ground to higher echelons. So where we discuss these challenges, and hopefully, of course, money will be needed for that. And we trust that the president will take note of this issue, but because he has to instruct basic education. The ECD centres went over to basic education from DSD last year. And it's only my opinion, I think that basic education was not completely ready with their plans to take over that very important responsibility. So they have to speed up their plans because the young ones, they are the victims, and the young ones is our country's future.
Mayor, thank you so much. Let me just relieve you to actually brief the ministers, but thank you so much for your time. We will catch up with you later on. Of course, Elgin, that was the mayor here in this district. So, of course, I'm not alone. I am joined by my colleague, Vanessa Puna, and, of course, she's by the Nearby Housing District Development Program. And this is as we cross to her. Vanessa, I understand you've got a guest with you. What's happening on your side?
Natasha, yes, good morning to you. And I am joined now by two beneficiaries of this Vlakkeland housing project, Mr. Johannes and Mrs. Johannes Base. Let me just start by saying good morning to you, Mrs. Base. You told me just now off camera what an important day this is for you. Explain to us your situation and your circumstances and how you feel about being a beneficiary of this house behind us.
I feel very proud that the president has come and give me the key. And I'm thinking about my mother. It's very important because she was the one who was connecting for the house, and I'm very proud to be the owner now of this house.
We also see, Mrs. Base, that your husband is in a wheelchair. What does it mean to you? You've been living with your daughter. What does it mean to you as a family, as a couple now, to have a space of your own?
It's very nice. It's really very nice because now we can move around in the wheelchair.
You told me earlier on that your mother was on the housing waiting list for over 20 years, and so have you also not. This will be the first time that you own a house of your own.
Yes. My mother was waiting in 1991, and then she passed away now 6 months ago. Yes.
Mrs. Base, thank you very much for your time, and to you and your husband. I hope you have many happy years in the home behind you.
Thank you.
Of course, Mr. and Mrs. Base, the latest beneficiaries of this Vlakkeland housing project. It involves all 3 spheres of government, comes at a cost of over 450 million rand, and the aim of this entire 2 phases of development is that it will see some 2,500 housing opportunities, ranging from breaking new ground to and social housing opportunities that will be available once this project is complete. Of course, this is where President Cyril Ramaphosa a little later on this morning will meet the bases and hand over the keys to the home behind us.